Just breaking tonight, Hamas saying they will release all Israeli hostages in Gaza, alive and dead. With just days before a key deadline, Hamas saying they are open to negotiate on President Trump's Gaza peace plan. Nearly 2 years into this war, the president saying he believes Hamas is ready for peace. Richard Engel, live from Jerusalem. Also breaking tonight, Sean Diddy Combs sentenced to more than 4 years in federal prison. What the judge told the music mogul, who sobbed in court. We'll show you the PR video put together by Combs' defense team to paint him as a family man and what he did when he learned he was spending more years behind bars. The new deadly military strike on a boat off the coast of Venezuela, killing 4. The president saying it carried drugs. Inside the U.S. is growing pressure on that country. The shutdown now extending through the weekend as the Senate fails to find a way out. New details on that deadly terror attack at a British synagogue. Police revealing officers shot 2 worshipers accidentally while aiming for the attacker. And we're learning the suspect, previously under investigation for an alleged rape, was on bail at the time of the attack. The massive explosion at a critical Chevron oil refinery in Los Angeles. Gas prices in that area now expected to spike.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Tonight, we are following breaking news as we come on the air. Nearly 2 years ago, Hamas launched that brutal and deadly terror attack on Israel, leading to a war that jumped borders and destroyed cities, lives, and families. But tonight, a potential sign this could be the beginning of the end. Hamas announcing for the first time they would agree to release the remaining Israeli hostages in Gaza as a first step in President Trump's new plan to end the war in the Middle East. They also agreed to hand over political control of the Gaza Strip. In recent days, much of the world had coalesced behind that 20-point U.S. plan to try to bring an end to the war. But we don't know if Hamas will agree to all of those details. About 50 of the 250 hostages abducted during the October 7th terror attacks remain in Gaza. And of those, some 20 are believed to be alive. The president telling Israel on social media to stop bombing Gaza. It comes as the death toll rises. They are past 60,000, that according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Richard Engel joins me live tonight from Jerusalem. And Richard, Hamas has been under intense pressure to accept President Trump's Gaza peace plan.
And, Tom, that pressure appears to have worked. Tonight, Hamas seems to have agreed to the main points of President Trump's peace plan. Hamas agreed to release all of its hostages, living and dead, almost 50 of them, as you said. It said that it won't be able to do it within the next 72 hours, but that it will enter into negotiations to make that transfer happen. Hamas also agreed to give up power critically in Gaza, handing over authority to a group of Palestinian technocrats. As you said, Hamas was under tremendous pressure. Arab states, Muslim majority states had already agreed to this peace plan, and President Trump appears to have welcomed it. He said that Hamas appears ready for peace and called on Israel to immediately stop bombing Gaza. Tom?
All right, Richard Engel on that breaking news tonight. Richard, we thank you. Back here at home, we're also following breaking news. A judge just sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years and 2 months in prison following his conviction on prostitution charges over the summer. In court today, Combs begged the judge for mercy. Chloe Malas was there.
Tonight, a judge telling Sean Diddy Combs he abused his power and control with women he professed to love and must serve a substantial sentence, handing him 4 years in federal prison. The judge said he considered Combs' family and career, but was not assured these crimes will not be committed again. Earlier, Combs pled with the judge for leniency. "I beg your honor for mercy," he said, "to be a father again, to be a son again, and be a leader in my community again." He apologized to his former girlfriends and said he took full accountability and responsibility for his actions. Combs sobbed as he turned to his mother and said, "You raised me better." What did you make of today's sentencing?
It was very painful. I was truly hoping for Sean to be coming home to his family. It was very disappointing.
Today's sentencing comes 3 months after Combs was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. Combs' lawyers had asked the judge for a lighter sentence, 14 months, arguing today he is clear-headed, drug-free, determined, focused, and remorseful. Combs' PR team producing this 11-minute video played in court today.
Put everything you can into your work,
emphasizing his charity work and role as a father. The judge also heard emotional statements from Combs' 6 kids, who said he's a changed man. The music mogul breaking down, holding his head in his hands as they spoke. Prosecutors had asked the judge for a stiffer sentence, 11 years, arguing this is not a person who has accepted responsibility. They asked the judge to consider letters written by victims. Prosecutors also told the judge that Combs had speaking engagements lined up beginning next week in Miami, which they called the height of hubris. The defense pushing back, calling them teaching events for prisoners. Tonight, the judge telling Combs, this is hard time in prison, away from your family, but you will have a life afterwards.
Chloe joins us now from outside court. And Chloe, take our viewers inside. How did Combs react to that sentence, and will he get time served?
Tom, Combs was stoic as the judge handed down the sentence. But as he left the courtroom, he turned to his family and he said, I love you. I'm sorry. I'll be OK. He is going to get time served, just over a year, which means he's looking at a little over 3 years in federal prison. But it could be slightly less for good behavior. Tom?
Chloe Molas, who's been covering this case from the start. Chloe, thank you. Also breaking tonight, the Trump administration escalating its fight against drug cartels, carrying out another deadly strike on a boat it says was carrying drug smugglers. Courtney Cuby has been tracking this. And Courtney, this is now the 4th U.S. strike off the coast of Venezuela.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth today saying 4 people he called narco-terrorists were killed in this strike. The Pentagon releasing this video of the latest strike. The U.S. saying that boat was carrying a substantial amount of drugs headed to America. Now, the U.S. has surged troops, ships, and fighter jets to the region in recent weeks to deter and respond to cartels. And the Trump administration just notified Congress that cartel actions constitute an attack on America and that the U.S. is at war with them. Meanwhile, the Venezuelan government slamming the U.S. for what they called an illegal incursion yesterday by 5 U.S. fighter jets, though saying they did not enter Venezuelan airspace. The Pentagon did not comment. Tom?
All right, Courtney Cuby for us. We're going to stay in Washington now. The federal government shutdown still ongoing with no end in sight. Dueling spending plans voted down in the Senate as the Trump administration is now preparing to cut billions in funding from blue states. Here's Ryan Nobles.
Tonight, another vote to end the partial government shutdown fails. Democrats again blocking a Republican funding bill that would have reopened the government.
We're trying to get the Democrats to do their job, and they won't.
Democrats slamming President Trump for not being more involved.
Throughout this week, Donald Trump has been missing in action. He remains in the Presidential Witness Protection Program.
While Republicans say President Trump is the reason Democrats won't vote to end the shutdown.
What's different is who's in the White House. That's what it is about. It's all about President Trump and the Democrats needing to pick a fight to satisfy their far-left political base.
Republicans still trying to find 5 more Democratic votes to pass their funding bill and reopen government. New Hampshire Democrat Jeanne Shaheen voted for a similar bill 6 months ago. Tonight, she's a no.
What's different now?
I think, as I've said all along, we ought to be able to keep the government open and address people's access to health insurance.
Democrats accusing the Trump administration of using the shutdown to cut funds to blue states. Announcing $2 billion in federal funds for an infrastructure project in Chicago were put on hold. Well, after backlash, the president today saying he's reinstating $187 million in recent cuts made to Homeland Security and counterterrorism for New York City and state. All this while reality is setting in for federal workers furloughed or working without pay. Trecca Henry works for HUD. Her husband is an air traffic controller. They're bracing for how to make ends meet.
We are going through our pocketbook, our expenses, and seeing what can we stop paying for.
But despite the consequences, both sides are dug in.
Would you say to people, though, that are worried that this is a staring contest and it's the American people that are hurting?
I see it as a fight for people who are struggling to cover the costs of health care.
Ryan, Democrats are holding firm. We saw it there. What's their long-term strategy?
Well, it really is all about health care for them, Tom, specifically the extension of those Affordable Care Act subsidies. They believe they're very popular with Americans, specifically in red states. Meanwhile, the Senate has no plans to vote this weekend, and the House has canceled any activity for next week, meaning this shutdown could go on for quite some time. Tom?
Ryan Nobles. Ryan, we thank you. Okay, we have new reporting tonight on that terror attack at a synagogue in England on Yom Kippur. Police today announcing 2 of the victims were inadvertently shot by officers trying to take down the alleged terrorists. Raf Sanchez tonight with those new developments.
Tonight, new details emerging about the Manchester synagogue attack that killed 2 congregants and left Jewish communities worldwide shaken. Police say that when they opened fire on the killer, they accidentally shot 2 worshippers who were holding the synagogue doors, keeping the attacker out as he tried to smash his way in. Adrian Dolby was killed, another man seriously injured by the gunfire. All those who blocked the entrance being hailed as heroes, including by Rabbi Daniel Walker, seen here moments after the shooting, his robe stained with blood.
We're going to honor the memory of those very, very, very good men who lost their lives.
The other victim, Melvin Kravitz, killed by the attacker. This is very much still an active crime scene more than 24 hours after the attack. Police here searching for clues about the killer's methods and his motivations. Police say Jihad al-Shami was a UK citizen born in Syria and announcing he had previously been arrested for alleged rape and was on bail at the time of the incident, adding he seems to have been motivated by extreme Islamist ideology. Tonight, his family say they strongly condemn the terrorist attack and are praying for the victims.
The pain is very raw. We are still in the crisis stage. We haven't even entered the recovery stage, but we are strong and we are going to recover.
A community in grief, but still resilient. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, Manchester, England.
Back here at home to our series, The Cost of Denial, where we look at the challenges people face with insurance. Tonight, Maggie Vespa reports on a little girl named Emmy and the struggles her family has gone through to get coverage for the care she needs.
A little more than 2 years ago, Emmy Lazone was born happy and seemingly healthy.
Hi, Barney.
But her childhood now in central Illinois, a far cry from what parents Patrick and Carrie envisioned.
It was at 2 months. Things changed. That's when she had her first seizure episode.
She was shaking, and her tongue was doing this weird, like, up and down movement that I'd never seen before, and her eyes were rolling.
What's that like as a mom?
Very scary.
It brings it back.
Yeah, terrifying.
After months of seizures and ER visits, a diagnosis, Cardi syndrome, a neurological disorder which typically carries a shortened life expectancy.
She's going up.
Among additional diagnoses, Emmy is missing part of her brain and can't walk, talk, or hold herself up. Her complex condition requires a series of specialized tools and therapies that Carrie and Patrick say result in a never-ending fight for coverage.
Your experience with your insurer, if you had to sum it up in one word, what would that word be? Frustrating.
A firefighter and stay-at-home mom, the couple have primary health coverage through United Healthcare, which they say initially denies most claims for Emmy's care.
Like her physical and occupational therapy, it's the same claim every month, and every month they'll deny it because instead of looking at all of her diagnosis, they look at the top line and go punch it in the computer and say, nope, denied.
Time they would otherwise dedicate to their daughter instead spent filing insurance appeals.
How many appeals on average do you have to go through monthly? For some claims, 1. For others, 4.
It's hours a week, if not more.
And every time we have to call in, it's a different claims rep we have to deal with.
To bathe without drowning, Emmy needs to be strapped into this chair. Amid the maddening fight to get one covered, Carrie says a United Healthcare rep had this suggestion.
They said that we should find a way to give her a bath, either us getting in the bath with her or just wiping her down was sufficient enough.
The chair ultimately approved, they say, after filing for an exemption. This shaky vest, even harder to get. The vest loosens mucus and helps prevent Emmy from getting pneumonia.
They wanted her hospitalized before they would cover it.
They needed to see her hospitalized.
For pneumonia.
Carrie says it took multiple months and 3 denials before getting the vest approved. NBC News reached out to United Healthcare about the family's frustration. The company responding, "We empathize with anyone caring for a loved one with complex medical needs," adding it has now provided a dedicated case manager who is familiar with Emma Lynn's needs and can help support the family going forward. The insurer saying it's also looking into outstanding requests, including a special bed and speech therapy. Emmy's parents just hoping the process gets easier.
Waging these insurance battles, do you feel like that's time lost with your daughter?
Yeah, 100%. We wouldn't fight for this if it didn't make a difference for her quality of life.
Maggie Vespa, NBC News, Manitou, Illinois.
You just heard Emmy's story there. If you have a story to share, we want to hear from you. Email us at costofdenial@nbcuni.com. All right, when we continue tonight, a skilled climber's tragic fall from the notorious El Capitan summit in Yosemite, how his mother is remembering him tonight. Stay with us. An Alaskan family is grieving the death of a young star climber after he fell to his death from Yosemite's famous El Capitan this week. Members of the climbing community say his climb was being live streamed when it happened. Here's Steve Patterson.
Tonight, a family in mourning over the sudden loss of an accomplished climber and beloved son.
Some snow in my hair. It's really pretty out.
23-year-old Balin Miller, well known in the climbing community, fell to his death, his family says, after scaling Yosemite National Park's famous cliff face, El Capitan. His mother telling us she's heartbroken.
I have a moment in reprieve. You know, you go through highs and lows of crying to where you can't cry anymore, but my soul is shattered.
Details of how exactly Miller died are still unclear, but his brother Dylan says he believes his brother had finished the climb and was getting his gear when he slipped off the end of the rope.
Balin fell, doing what he loved to do.
The incident was allegedly captured on a live stream, which NBC News has not seen, but others on social media say they witnessed. The National Park Service did not respond to our inquiries about the incident, which happened the first day of the government shutdown.
It is unfathomable, the ache in your heart, and I don't know if it'll ever go away. I just love him and I miss him so much.
And Balin's mother says the accident was a very simple mistake. She likened it to forgetting to put your seatbelt on just that one day where you absolutely needed to have it. Tom.
Steve Patterson tonight. All right, Steve, we're back in a moment with that massive blaze that erupted overnight in a refinery in Southern California. What happened and why it could impact gas prices soon. That's next. We're back now with a massive explosion in Southern California. This happened at a Chevron oil refinery. Remarkably, there were no injuries. That plant is responsible for 20% of the gasoline in Southern California. That according to Chevron. And Chevron is now investigating the cause of the blast. Experts say it could lead to a spike in gas prices in that region. And a pretty wild surprise in Arizona. Check this out. A bear running through a Fry's grocery store in Oro Valley, not far from Tucson. You can see it moving pretty fast down the aisle there. Police say the bear somehow didn't cause any damage. That's Nightly News for this Friday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.